we out in nature and we learning. We feeling wonderful, man. Pineapple gang. Shout out to Non-Fungible Wonderful. You know what it is. Hey, I just wanted to do a quick live from like my patio, like in the backyard. I've been doing some projects back here, so I just kind of wanted to show you guys IRL stuff as well. We got the trampoline. Actually, my wife like put that together mostly. Like I did like 1% of that work. Shout out to my wife. And we got the lights here. Just hung those. Took actually an incredible amount of work and a ton of trips to Home Depot and Lowe's. So, yeah. That's how it is at the house. But yeah, super proud of that. And we got the Alexa, so we control that. No big deal. But anyways, I wanted to do a quick breakdown of David Yu and Kahn. So by the way, just got my Neo Tokyo hat in as well. We're getting Web3 gear in the house. So yeah, no big deal on that. How does Randy do all these like live chat? Let me see if I can find the live chat here. Let's see. Welcome to live chat. Okay, cool. And yeah, so wanted to do a quick breakdown of David Yu and Kahn. Mostly those two were talking, but yeah, so I think I'll kind of break that down a little bit, what I thought, and I guess just let's go ahead and talk about it. So, Kahn mentioned a lot going on from his perspective, and what I thought was really cool is he brought up the Walmart, he brought up the Walmart thing again, right? And I think that's really massive because he clarified that, right? He was like, yo, we're gonna be like, VeVe's gonna be like the Walmart in size. So not just a retailer, not just somebody who sells a lot of stuff, but he's like, they're like the #1 retailer, right? That's what he wants VeVe in size wise. So I thought that was pretty big to him kind of clarify that and him talk about unique experiences. And what got me really excited was that he started talking about, the social flex, which I've been, as you guys know, I've been talking a lot about that day one stuff. It's the reason why I haven't dumped like all of my collectibles and why I hold on to like a lot of the grails I do. I've sold off a little bit here and there, but that's only to accumulate other stuff on that app, right? And they brought up AF15, time and time again, I've talked about AF15 and how bullish I was on that. So, yeah, David, you brought up AF15 in that video too. So I thought that was big. But yeah, going back to what Kahn was talking about, and sorry if you can hear like the locusts, I'm like down here in Oklahoma, they're super loud bugs. So they like rub their wings together and make super loud noises. So if you can hear those bugs in the background, I do apologize. But anyways, back to the Kahn breakdown. Him talking about like the social flex part of that, I think was massive and huge in the video, right? And so he started talking about like owning some of these NFTs and collectibles, and he started talking about like the actual use cases in real life, like the picture frames, and even he's talked about with David Yu specifically about how they have mentioned these like basically glass boxes or these see-through AR boxes that you can display these characters as if they were right there in front of you, like a hologram basically, right? So I think that's really huge. Sorry about that. We are live, so no big deal. Omi Juan the homie, aka Baskar Batman. Yo, what is going on? This is the way. Let me try to get my live chat back here. Where did it go? There it is. Hello there. This is the way. Hey, yo. Yes, it is. So the holo cube, right? Like the hologram and all that good stuff. He talked a lot about that connection, and what I think VeVe could do. I'm gonna put a video out probably either tomorrow if I have time or Monday, where I'll be talking a little bit about that specifically. I've talked a lot about on the channel AR. I've talked a ton about AR glasses. I brought to you guys Nreal. Talked a lot about the Nreal glasses, the Samsung OLED lenses and how groundbreaking those are. And I've talked a lot about even what David Yu has put on his Instagram. So I think this is the direction that they could go in, and that possibly what we will see in the VeVeverse, and how David talks about the VeVeverse and broke that down as well. But they could do specific airdrops for, yo, that dog, LOL, yo. My wife, I got a backstory. Look at this. Hank, knock it off. I got my German Shepherds. So these are 2 German Shepherds. My wife tried to shave one of them, and I was like, yo, you can't do that because they're actually, their fur is like a built-in air conditioning system. So I was like, yo, you can't do that. So she like shaved half of this dog, and I stopped her like halfway through because I'm like, yo, we gotta respect these dogs, and they gotta live in the summer, man. It's hot in Oklahoma. But yeah, we got my buddy Hank here. Oh, there he goes. Um, but yeah, so they, oh, I think a lot of this is gonna come in the near future. And even Al Kahn, like he's like, man, I really hope this is being developed because this is like something I'm excited about, and this is what I'm excited about as well. Like I've actually looked into a lot of different projects that are doing AR, not just VeVe, right? And I could really see that, Alcon, or I could really see them doing like something, a potential airdrop, right? So if you own, like, let's say you own the AF-15s, or you own like the Spider-Man Secret Rare, I don't know, whatever, right? MC1, they could decide literally like, hey, we see you own one, or we see you own several of these, right? Or you own entire sets, for like, we're gonna airdrop to a random holder a hollow cube, right? It doesn't even have to be everybody that owns one. It could just be literally one person out of the entire, collection of that specific collectible gets a hollow cube or a holographic, encasement. And I think that's massive because this is what I've seen in the actual NFT space, in the macro. Projects do exactly that on their roadmaps. If you notice that they will put on there like, hey, we're going to raffle off a NFT, or we're going to raffle off XYZ. Raffles happen all the time, and I could definitely see them going in this direction, especially with AR. And my wife's just like staring at me through the window like Hannibal Lecter, or Johnny, or whatever, the dude from Shining, where he's like, here's Johnny. But yeah, so super funny stuff. Yeah, but yeah, I could see them literally doing something like this. Super easy to implement. We've already seen them do airdrops. We know that airdrops are they've already happened, and they're going to continue to happen. And it's a matter of time before I see them doing a physical airdrop. So I think this is going to happen. They talked about for KYC users. We know like they're doing obviously special things for KYC users and people that are real people, right? And so I think it's a matter of time before they do something like that, and also before they do their own product. I could literally see them putting their name on a AR, physical. Oh my gosh, my umbrella is like freaking out right now. But yeah, I could literally see them doing something like that, and moving in that direction as well. So there's a lot of bullish things that I got out of this conversation and this community update. So I was really excited to see Alcon, and I don't know, Smash, what, if you were also pretty excited about that. And then going back to David Yu, where he was even talking about it going into detail as well. He's talking about, hey, we don't know what the VeVe verse, or we don't know what the metaverse is, but we do know what the VeVe verse is, and kind of the direction he's thinking where the VeVe verse could go. He's like, hey, it's going to look different from what, other quote unquote metaverses are doing. And I think he kind of hit the nail on the head there, right? I think he was talking a lot about that, and just saying like, hey, a lot of like quote unquote metaverses, they don't know what they're doing, and they're just games, right? They're just siloed off games and ecosystems that you can't really get involved with. And he's like, hey, the VeVe verse is going to be unique. It's going to be like VeVe's version of the metaverse that is VeVe, right? And I think that's really cool. I think that's cool, and puts VeVe in more of a unique light and spin, instead of just putting in a box, right? I think a lot of these metaverses, they're not really metaverses, right? We know that like Meta, they're building towards one. We know Sandbox. I think VeVe could easily do a Sandbox once they're fully integrated with Immutable X or whatever. Whatever they decide to do, and I just think that they could do that pretty easily. I've been talking about how undervalued a lot of the 2D posters are, and the 2D art and things like that, 2D art period on the app. I think that's hugely undervalued, because when any kind of verse comes, whether it's interoperable with the Sandbox or interoperable with the VeVe verse, I really think that it could be what a lot of people display already in those metaverses like Sandbox is a lot of 2D art. And so I think like when people figure that out in the long run, I think that's going to be there's going to be like a nice little run up on 2D stuff. But for the time being, short term, those are undervalued in my opinion. I know people throw that term out a lot, but like usually when I make stuff like calls like that, it's pretty on the spot. But it is long term, right? So I'm not saying to go in there and like make any decisions, right? This is not financial advice, anyways. This is entertainment only. You know what it is. By the way, throw up the you know what if you're digging this. But yeah, so that's kind of my breakdown of the whole talk and things like that. And I really love that David brought out recognition for Reese too. So shout out to Reese, and he really deserved that recognition, being like ground zero, level zero employee or whatever. I think that's so true, man. Like one thing I will say about Reese is, you know, when it was just him pretty much managing the community, he was always there. So that's something that like I really appreciate about Reese. And yeah, the guy deserves, like, everybody should go find Reese on the VeVe app and like donate him a collectible when they open transfers up. The guy's just amazing, right? I mean, I've talked to him and he's just always been super cordial and super professional and just an amazing person, right? So I really did appreciate that kind of recognition from David Yu there. So Reese definitely deserves it. But yeah, we got crazy neighbors back there somewhere yelling at stuff. I don't know. Sorry about that. But what else? What else did he bring up? Yeah, so the unique part is going to be like what VeVe does in their VeVe-verse. And you know, it could take a while, right? It could take a couple years. It could take even less than that. Like, we don't know, right? Like, at the end of the day, they could pivot. They could literally, like, Apple drops the Apple Glass application, or they drop the Apple glasses or Apple goggles or whatever, right? I guess the whatever it's called, the VR goggles, and then they could drop the AR glasses. We don't know, right? So I think VeVe could easily implement their application into that ecosystem. That doesn't take that much. Like, in real glasses already do stuff like that, right? Excuse me. Let me check the chat here. Energy, yo, what's going on? Yo, so sorry about that. Let me get to the chat here. Sup, Dino Lang, yo, what's going on? Sup, brother? I love how honest Al was. He basically said our weak spot is new users, and we did fix it. I love that. And so many words, right? Yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure. J King.